See how she's doing, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have Letitia, and we're at the Beaux Arts Festival in Miami, Florida, and we're in her booth here. And Leticia, tell me sorry,
Letitia.
Letitia.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
I'm nervous.
It's all right.
Tell me
That
about.
means it means something to you.
You know, that's what somebody else said too, and
Yeah,
that's
that's
I feel
amazing.
that that's true.
It's rare to find people that actually can be around their passion.
Yeah,
So yeah, it should mean something to you. You should be nervous. That's a good thing.
the butterflies are going.
That's a good thing.
So cool. So tell me about your art.
So for me, I like to think of my art as positive art. It's
Mm-hmm.
about um, life has undulations, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have good times, you have bad times, but it's really about how do you get to the next place in a positive light? How do you get to the light versus going to the dark?
Yes.
Right? What you focus on grows. And so I want to focus on happy things,
Yes.
what we can be versus what we have been.
Yes.
So I don't have a definition of my art. It's just I feel the feels and I say, I think someone's going to appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do that. And then I put it out there and hope the energy comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Reciprocal
cool.
art.
Come on, reciprocal art. I love that because it's so true. You know,
Yeah.
there's so many things to just bring us down in life, and art is one of the things that brings so many people
It's a
up,
beacon.
and it's what we need in the world.
Yep.
And I love seeing how you just bring all your pieces together, and it's so cohesive, and it's fun, and it's colorful, and I love it. So tell me, how long have you been an artist professionally?
Professionally, I've been in July. It'll be 22 years.
22
I
years.
tell people, unprofessionally, I've been painting and creating since my mom feed me applesauce.
Okay.
It's just in my DNA. It's something. I remember someone saying, "Oh, you can't live without art. It's like you're losing your arm." I was like, "Well, no, it's like oxygen to me because I could lose my arm and figure out how to navigate with one.
Okay.
But I can't breathe. If I can't breathe, I can't live.
Yeah.
And art is my oxygen.
Yes.
So,
oh, that's so special.
Yeah, and I never thought about it as a career. I just did it. It was just excessively, just always doing it. What can I draw next? What can I do next? I need a different pen because I don't want the same old stuff. And then from there, it just became a passion. It just became, I don't remember.
Okay.
It's just there,
Cool. And so, okay, so 22 years in the business. When did you, what was how do I want to say this? What was it that made you want to make it your business? Like what was
my mom.
Okay.
I grew up poor, and I thought I went to college, and I was like, "This is my shot to be something."
Yes.
Corporate America, right? And so I broadcast communications, one of my majors, and that was actually my only major at the time. But I loved art so much, I kept taking so many art classes.
Yes.
And then my professor, Mike Sanford, I love that man. He said, "Come to my office." I said, "Okay, I can do his office." And he said, "You already have enough classes to minor. We have nowhere else to put these art classes, and they're very expensive." And I was like, "I don't have to tell you, I'm going to keep taking art classes. Like, I don't know how to not do that."
Exactly.
And so the next year he said, "Come to my office." Come to his office. He said, "You need to think about doubling." They were just starting a majors program. And I remember asking my actual advisor, did he think it was a good idea? Because I only needed one more semester to get 2 degrees, right?
Yeah.
And he just kind of poo-pooed it, and he was like, "Oh, no, da, 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 da." And it made me so mad instinctually because I was asking him for real thoughtful advice, and he just kind of was like, "Oh, it's art, it's nothing." That's the kind of energy he gave to it. And I knew he had 2 boys, and I said, "Would you, if your boy was asking this to one of his advisors, would you tell him not to get the extra degree for one semester? And he just kind of got quiet. I said, thank you. You've answered my question and what I needed to do. So after that, I decided to double major.
Yes.
And so then I got 2 degrees, right? And so one is broadcast communication, the other one is fine art, and I communicate about fine art, so it works for me, right?
Works. Everything aligns.
Everything aligns, even if you don't know what that alignment is.
Exactly. You just gotta keep living.
Yeah, exactly. If you live long enough, like my grandma who's 98.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my grandmother. All 3 of these. This is a series called Spa Day, which ended up being way more than that. So 2020, COVID happened.
Yes.
I have all these jobs landed up, which was our art show. Make a long story short, you try to make sure you got enough space.
No, I'm just trying to make sure it's still going.
Okay, yeah. And so, it's 2020. I'm driving to a show, it gets canceled. Another show gets canceled. Another show gets canceled. Another show. I don't have a job. 17 years I've been doing this, and I don't have a job. I said, you know what? Because I stay with them in the winter because they live in Orlando, and I said, my grandmother's 94 at that particular time. I'm never going to get this much time with her again in my life because I'm never going to have this much time free, and she's getting older, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to take this time. I'm not going to panic. I'm going to figure it out. Stayed with them for a few months. Make a long story short, every time I saw something beautiful, I was like, oh, that's a painting. Oh, that's a painting. So I would take pictures, right? But then I didn't realize anything more than that. I started to paint them, and then after I finished, I said, oh my gosh, this isn't about a spa day. This is about how my aunt loves my grandmother. This is about how my aunt has taken her into her home, has sacrificed for her, and has made it so my grandmother, who at that point was 94, can walk all the way home without any dip in life quality. That's a superhero. That's somebody. That's the ultimate kind of love to give a human being, right?
Unconditional.
And she's giving it to my grandmother, who's one of my favorite people on the planet, right?
Yes.
And so,
that's gonna
so I called really this one Spa Day. Excuse me, not Spa Day. I called this one This Is How We Roll. I called this one Kitchen in the Kitchen.
Okay.
Now, for the people who are like, what are you talking about? In the back of the day, in our,
right here,
they call it the kitchen.
Right here.
Right up in here. They call that part of the kitchen. And you can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen.
Okay.
So what it
stay
is
out of my kitchen with them hot combs,
exactly.
Please.
They would do the hot combs. Thank you, Madam CJ Walker.
Yeah.
They do the hot combs, but they would either burn this part of your little ear or this, try not to hit your ear.
Yep.
So you always like doing one of these numbers. So they called that the kitchen. Can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I called that piece Kitchen in the Kitchen because she's doing her hair, her kitchen in the kitchen. And this one's called Manny for Granny.
Oh, Manny for Granny. I love the name.
Thank you.
Come on, communication.
That's it.
Come on, wordsmith.
Elon Education is paying off.
I love it. Oh my gosh. That is so cool.
And for me, everything is about things I've experienced. So like this piece is called "It's My Life is a Highway" series. I don't know if your camera has it.
Let me actually turn it.
So the idea is when you're driving your lane of life. Yes, sometimes there's terrain, but it's your one beautiful life. You gotta make the most of it. You're going in the right direction because the light's always there to guide you.
Yes.
These are from pictures that I take when I travel from state to state, place to place, and I see a beautiful sunrise or sunset. I'm like,
yes.
And then I paint them later as they sell. I paint more.
That's
so and then
beautiful.
You got one that's deep and serious, like this one that looks so pretty.
Yeah.
You're good. So it's called the For You series. So when I was really, really young, it was just me and my mom, me against the world, me and her against the world.
Yes, and, that's like me and my mom.
Yeah, and me and her against the world, right? We didn't have a car, but she had a bike. She had me on the seat, in the back seat. We went everywhere together. And I was her,
That you were her purse, her pocketbook. That's what they would call me at my mom's job. That's what my,
So anyway, she married this guy, thinking life was going to be better. It was worse. He was abusive.
Oh my God.
My mom was catatonic. And my mom was this vivacious spirit. And I think that broke her a lot. But I would walk to school. But before I went to school, I would go say bye to my mom, and she'd be just staring at the wall.
Yeah.
Just disheveled, right? And when I come home from school, she'd still be staring at the wall. And so I was a kid. I wanted to help my mom. So what I thought of was when I come home from the bus stop, I'm going to pick up the flowers, which were the weeds, like the dandelions, the little things, stuff, right? And I would put them in my hand, and I'd say, "Here, hi, Mom." I say, "For you." And she looked,
yes,
and I was like, I give her some flowers, maybe she'll be happy, you know. And so I picked the little dandelions and all the different things, right? And I come in the house, I said, "Hi, Mom," and I say, "For you." And she'd be staring at the wall, and she'd turn around, and she'd see the flowers, and she's like, "Baby," and she was the mother that I remember, right?
Oh my
And
God.
so every day in the springtime, while the flowers would grow, the dandelions and stuff would grow, I would pick them every day on the way home to get that few minutes with my mother, right?
Yes.
With my real mother.
Yes, the mother you knew.
Yeah, that I knew before all this craziness, right?
Yes.
I say all that to say, I was thinking about it one day, and I said, I'm gonna start a For You series. So the first one I did was actually of the weeds. Okay. So the transition is that one. That's the one that she owns. But then people loved it. They were like, "This is so great." I said, "It's about mental health, but it's about the possibilities of getting better, and it's about so many things, right? It's about empathy from a little kid to a mother, you know, all these things." This right here, these are actually flowers from my garden. So the concept is we struggled and sacrificed, and we got out the weeds.
Okay.
We had the weeds, and that's all we had. But now we grow in our own garden.
Ooh.
So it's about not where you are, where you're trying to go, what you're trying to be. How do you get a plan? Not even get a plan. Well, how are you gonna get a plan if you don't know how to plan? If no one's taught you that.
Yes.
Right. So there's so many other things going on that we don't think about. But I found myself a way to traverse, to find positivity and stay positive, because my family's very positive. They're nice, they're loving, but they never had a lot of breaks. Yes. So me getting a break to go to school, me doing this, it's helped me learn a lot of things that now I can impart to people who were like me that didn't have it. It don't matter the color, it matters that you didn't have. And if, do you want something? Are you willing to work for it? I'm a mentor you, or I'm a talk.
You literally mentored me already.
Right. Like, every time I see you. I'm a coach. I coach off and on for 30 years. Wow. I was a part of a state championship team, 9th in the nation. Some of my most proud moments are the kids who no one thought would make it. Yes. And then they got to school and then getting their masters, and then when they weren't expected to graduate high school. Come on. But I knew they loved basketball, and you can use that as the tool to get them to where they really need to get before they know it. You know, it's so many things, and I would love my legacy to be that I want to help people, and I want to put out the positive energy, because negative is always around. Exactly. And someone I know always says, "What you focus on grows." Okay. So I don't want to grow weeds and fungus in my garden. I want to grow something great and healthy. Okay, that part. Unless it's shiitake mushrooms or Mary Jane. But that's another thing. Another podcast. Podcast for another day. That is not about your art. Okay. And that's going to be the title of it. Podcast for another day. Look, come on, spin off. That's it. Okay, so lastly, and I see you have awesome customers. How are y'all doing? We are almost done. We're just doing a little podcast episode called About Your Art. Look it up. Look. So lastly, shameless plug. Oh, shameless plug. Real shameless. So lastly, what would you tell a young person? What would you tell your younger self about, like a piece of advice you would give to your younger self about starting this entrepreneur journey, being about your art, like about your business? Do what you did. That's what I would tell myself. Stay positive, but I was always positive. So I would tell someone else. Okay. Because for me, I was a person that was never going to give up. You're going to have to kill me to make me stop. Okay. That's my. It's giving Aries. Are you Aries? I'm Cancer. What? Yeah. Okay. It don't stop till the casket drops. Okay. They say, right? And so for me, I would tell another kid, don't give up. Don't give up. Yes. Get a plan. Talk to a lot of people, because so many people know so many things that you don't know. Yes. And don't assume you know what they're going to say. Assume you don't. So because sometimes they'll say things and jewels will be dropped, and you're like, oh, I didn't even know that little small thing changed so many things. So just be humble. Listen to people more than talk. Yes. And really have have a passion that when it's bad, you will stay. It's just like a marriage. Okay. You love someone in a real place, because when it gets bad, you got to have a reason to stay. Yes. That's it. Beautiful. That's it. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so proud of you. Give me a hug. I'm so happy that I met you. I'm so happy I met you too. Okay. So on today's episode of About Your Art, we have Mike.
Hello.
Mike, tell us about your art and introduce yourself as well.
My name is Mike Maydak. I do right now I'm doing like fantasy world building work where I just
Mm-hmm.
create characters and environments. I
Mm-hmm.
really like creating pieces where they kind of tell a story and you can participate in and
Mm-hmm.
sort of like what is this character all about, and you kind of make it up, or even these environments
Mm-hmm.
where I just have I like to create so much detail where you can sort of walk around it visually and just explore it. Again, creating a story for yourself. So everything, and what I know from a kid, all this stuff is just me regurgitating all the things I loved in my life, from like Star Wars cross sections to the RPGs I played as a kid. Where's Waldo? Just me,
Mm-hmm.
just trying to do it in an interesting and new, fun way.
Awesome. And so, how long have you been doing art professionally like this, doing shows?
Good question. I would say 2008 is when I actually started making actual real money from it.
Mm-hmm.
There's about 2 or 3 years where I kind of started and failed.
Hmm.
Um,
That
I
happens.
graduated in '04 from art school, so about 4 years until I finally figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're about 16 years now.
Wow.
I waited for the other shoe to drop, and it never did, and I just
Mm-hmm.
kept going. So
That is super cool. Let me just clean my lens. It looks like it's a little dirty. I'll obviously clip this part out.
oh, you got to do that in. So hard. You seen Silo where they're cleaning the screen?
No, I
Oh, there's
haven't
a whole
seen
thing
it.
about cleaning the screen when you go outside. Yeah,
Oh, when you go outside, like we're in a
they're
virtual
they're in a
thing.
they're in a silo bunker, and it's
Oh,
radioactive. And if you get punished, you get exiled and go outside, and you have to clean the screen, and you die because of radiation.
oh. What is this show? Where
It's
is it
on Apple
at?
TV called
Apple TV.
Silo.
I don't even have Apple TV
No, this is the
now.
best part of it, right?
So, so what was the catalyst that made you decide, hey, I'm gonna do this as a business. I'm gonna be about my art. You get it, like about your
So I
business.
was fortunate. Like when I was in high school, I worked for a company called Blue Line Pro, and they sold art paper to comic book conventions. So when
Okay.
I was like 14, 15, I was traveling with these guys to different shows, comic book conventions, and
Mm-hmm.
selling art. So I was introduced to this economy of where artists would show at these cons and sell their work. And
Mm.
so at
You
the
got a
time,
taste of it.
got a taste of it. So I had a handicap. I knew all about the industry, and when I got into it, I was doing comic book conventions. I did a
Cool.
little bit of art fairs, and even right now, I'm more diversified. I do like markets, and I do comic cons. I do art fairs. So sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down. So I keep pretty diversified in the different
That's
shows I do.
cool. Awesome. So, what would you, if you could give advice to a younger person, like your younger self, what would you tell yourself about this process of becoming an entrepreneur, if you will? Like, what's
Um,
some advice you would give your younger self or a younger person?
I think the one thing, you know, you mentioned this earlier before we started this interview. Like, I look like someone who likes to be alone. Um, I would say, and it's worked out for me. It's been I focused in. I was able to really focus in. I got to get better. I have to. I really was not a fake it till you make it. I wanted to make it.
Yes.
And so I just worked really hard on my craft and my skill. And I knew no one would really care except me,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. And so I kind of developed that mentality. It's a little bit of a delusion. You kind of need to keep on going.
The Lulu is the Salulu
Okay.
for a lot of people. I know that's how I feel
Okay.
about life. I'm the Lulu all the way.
Okay. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So it's not to it, but like one thing I did I think I may have missed, and it's some sort of networking, building relationships. In
Mm.
that I think I sacrificed it. I think I've just had some bad experiences where the energy of putting towards relationships in
Mm-hmm.
business or anything like that just didn't pan out,
Mm-hmm.
and so I just got focused on me.
Yes.
And I would say to my younger self is give that more of a chance. And even
Yeah.
now, I probably need to do that too.
Yeah.
But I would, maybe diversify more of my energies and actually networking and building relationships.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, that's the thing about business. Business and art is like, they take two very different skill sets that you have to
yeah,
be able to tap into both,
this
kind of.
is totally coming out. I was sitting home. It was 12 inches of snow outside, and I
Mhm.
was sitting inside on my couch, just happy drawing.
Mhm.
And I was like, yeah, I'm going to Miami and that's cool, but I don't want to. I just want to stay at home and
Yes.
just be an artist. But
Yes.
like, I gotta get out there
Yeah,
and
it's true.
find out and get my butt out
Yeah.
there. This is what I do, and it's a different hat, and it is a little disturbing when you have to switch hats. It's
Yeah.
kind of jarring and uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but you just got to do it. So
Breaking in a new hat can be very daunting
yeah,
because it's tight
right.
first, right? It's tight
It's
and
not
it's
comfortable.
constricting and it's uncomfortable, and then as you wear it and you get into the groove some more, then it fits just right.
Yeah, yeah, and
Mhm.
it's if it's too comfortable, I know that, and that's a thing. You just don't know. Like,
Yeah,
is like if it's easy, should I go with it? You should just test your own boundaries sometimes. I think
that's true, and stick to
so.
them. That's good. Definitely giving Capricorn energy. So that's
Oh,
you
I
said
told you
yeah
that. Okay, I was like,
yeah.
how'd you know that?
No,
I was like,
I mean I'm
okay,
psychic though, so I would have guessed it.
okay, okay. What makes me a Capricorn energy because of that?
Well, cause like just that like business minded, down to earth, really grounded energy, but like you know just about your business. Like I could
Yeah.
tell that you are serious about what you do in a way that is productive. I don't know. Am I making sense?
I'll take
I
it.
don't know, but it's good. It's all good, and you seem stable. Capricorns are stable. It's the Earth sign, so.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Occasionally, that we can be unstable.
I
Trust me.
mean everybody has their days. Okay.
Past year. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, cool. So that's the advice you would give, and all right. So I guess that is all the questions. I have to memorize my questions better
Yeah.
than this. But this is
You're doing great.
we're at
You're
the
doing great.
beginning.
Just go from the flow. Just go with the flow.
So I see these books right here. Tell me about the books.
Yeah. So the books are everything I, I I was making was gearing towards making books. I love books. Books are
Mhm.
just awesome to me. And so all these illustrations, they were all geared to go into the book and create a little field guide for the world I made. And so you can spend
Mm.
time with it and just travel it and just explore the world.
Mhm.
Um, and
Where could
so
somebody buy those books if they wanted to?
yeah, just Google my last name, Maydak. It's Maydak. You'll be able to find my Etsy store, and I have it on there.
Mhm.
So they're really just sold by me right now. But
That's
it's a
the
really
way to
nice
do it.
book. It's about 72 pages. I'll go through it if you like.
Yeah.
Something has like a cloth cover. It feels
Love
really good in
it.
the hand.
It does.
Uncoated pages, so it smells has that woody smell to it.
Ooh,
Um, so
beautiful.
I'm going too fast. The camera has to slow it down.
Yeah, I'll probably try to do some kind of editing to slow it down too. Very cool.
But yeah, little snippets about the world and
Y'all gotta
what it's
cop
about.
that.
Hmm.
That is awesome. Cool. So, all right. Well, y'all, like I said, we're here in Miami right now. This is the last day of the show. So you snooze, you lose. But you know, just follow Mike and see where he'll be at next in his art show rounds, and yeah,
Right.
check him out.
Right.
All
Awesome.
right. Any last words, Mike?
No. I don't, I'm glad I'm flying back. I'm not driving.
Yeah, right. We got to drive, so
Yeah, I'm
you're
leaving my
lucky.
car here, so
That's
I'm
good.
gonna because I gotta be back here in like 3 weeks. So
Oh yeah. Are you doing Palm Beach?
yeah.
You are? We're
Hmm?
doing Palm Beach too. The convention
Not Palm
center,
Beach.
right?
Not Palm Beach.
Oh, Coconut Grove.
Coconut Grove.
Yeah, we were gonna. It was either or, and we always end up with Palm Beach.
Okay.
Cool, awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay. So we are here on another episode of About Your Art. So with us we have Miss Anna Hefco. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Beautiful. We are in Miami, Florida, still at the Beaux Arts Festival, and so Anna,
Yes.
do you mind telling me a little bit about yourself and about your art? Well,
First,
first, how long have you been an artist?
well, I became a
Professionally.
professionally. I
Mm-hmm.
became an artist 8 years ago
Oh.
when we moved into a new house,
Uh huh.
and
I just went to Michael's. We had a lot of empty walls, and I
Mm-hmm.
went to Michael's. I bought a few canvases
Mm.
and a few paints, a few tubes of paint, and a few
Mm-hmm.
brushes, and I started to paint.
Wow. Crazy idea, right? Just
I just came, and then here I am,
yeah.
7, 8 years.
Time flies, right?
Yeah, I'm in the street
Oh
with
my
my
gosh.
painting.
So had you ever done painting before? Is it just
I did
something?
it in school, in primary school, and I
Oh
was being
wow.
told that I'm talented, but
Yeah.
I had no idea too much about what that meant. And
Mhm.
then my parents told me that being an artist is not something that
Uh
would,
oh.
you know,
Okay.
align
Yeah.
with their goals that they had set up for me. So that
Mhm.
went like all the way in the back of my mind. And
Mhm.
it never happened again until I
Yeah.
moved to Miami.
Wow. So okay. So that's really cool. So you have kind of rediscovered your passion in a way.
Yes,
That's
yes.
good.
I just follow the flow, as they say. I mean,
Yes.
I just
Yes.
leaned into it,
Yeah.
and um, here I am
Here you
talking to
are.
you.
Yes. In wonderful, beautiful Miami. And you can tell how her art is inspired by the beach and
Yes.
also different landscapes. You said this was Australia?
That one is Australia. I have this weak spot for aerial views, everything that is aerial
Ooh.
view over the ocean in
Do you have
general.
a drone? Did you have to buy
I
a
don't
drone?
know.
Okay.
I just like travel by Google Maps.
Oh, yes, Google Maps.
Well,
They do it
don't we
for
all?
us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank God for
So that's
Google.
how I discovered it, and I fell in love with Australia.
Beautiful. And you can see like there's real texture there. Like this is super cool, super 3D, very detailed, very beautiful art. Like I was telling you that I do a little art acrylic pouring and
Hmm.
stuff,
Hmm.
but nothing like this. You can tell all the talent and the time that you put to get it right.
Thank you so
It's
much. I
very evident
appreciate it.
and
Just
very
keep at it.
beautiful. Yes,
Just
I
keep at
will.
it. If that's what you enjoy, you should keep
What would
doing
you
it.
tell your younger self then?
Everything is gonna be okay.
Yes.
Chill.
Okay. Chill. This was amazing. Thank you for
Thank you.
telling me about your art, and
Thank
thank
you.
you for being on my podcast, my little baby podcast.
Well, you keep at it, and it's not gonna be a little baby anymore
Yes.
because there's a lot of artists that
Yes.
need
And I do
exposure.
like 20 something shows a year with him. So
So that's gonna
I'm
be
going to have a lot
a
of time to
pretty big
practice.
baby
Listen, by
very
the
soon.
time you see me next year, if we see each other
We're
next
not
year,
gonna see each other next year. I'm
wow.
moving to Europe.
Oh, you're moving to Europe.
Yes, this is my last year in the United States.
I love that for you. Change is so good.
Is
This is
it?
a 9 year, you know? This is the year of change and transition.
It's
So it's good
happening.
that you're starting something new in a 1 year. That's
Well,
good.
yeah, I guess
That's
so.
good.
I hope so. I mean,
It
I'm
will be. Speak
excited,
it.
but living my life behind is not
Yeah.
an easy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure your customers will find you wherever you go.
Well,
And
thank God for internet.
yeah, I was going to say, now tell the audience where they can find your art and find your paintings.
It's just easy. Just Google Anna Hefco, Hefco,
I'll just zoom in right
and
here.
you're gonna find
That's how it
me.
is.
I sell on my platform, my
Mm-hmm.
website,
There's her QR code. I don't know
www.painttotohefco.com,
if y'all can do that.
plus various other platforms.
Mm-hmm. Almost, almost, not quite. Okay, beautiful, perfect. Thank you,
Thank you for
Anna. And
having me.
I love doing this with fellow women artists because there's I just not to get too deep, but we need more women
We can
artists.
get deep because
Yeah,
we're deep.
yeah. So I just, this is something that is so innate to women, and I'm glad that we have a way to express ourselves. And you are going to inspire some young woman with this story because,
Thank you.
I'm sure there's so many. I'm a child of an immigrant, and I know that my parents also told me to become a nurse or do something that was more,
That's
you know,
making the money,
yeah, and
providing.
not passionate, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to
Just
go
make
against
what
the
makes
grain.
you happy.
And it doesn't matter if you don't do it right away. As long as you just keep living, then you'll have the opportunity.
Eventually, it's gonna come to you, but just keep
Yes.
at it.
Yes. Oh, thank you,
Thank you
Anna.
so much for
Have a good one. Oh,
Thank you for doing.
we will stay in touch.
So it's just the idea of meeting someone and really getting immersed in life. Because most people that I photograph, I don't just go up and ask for them to take a photograph of me. Now, typically, I want to get to know them. I visit their homes. We've eaten together. And sometimes this is over a period of months. So I very seldom walk up to someone and just take a photo. I want to know something about them because I need to be able to tell their story. Outside of just what people look in the picture. So that's just my idea. It's just I want to meet as many people to influence, and I want to be influenced by those folks. It's all about learning. So that's my thing. Learning. Yeah.
Cool. So, an aspect of my podcast that I'm gonna incorporate is the zodiac, and so. Tell me, what's your zodiac sign?
Sagittarius.
You're a Sagittarius. Do you know your big three by any chance? No. Sagittarius is that tracks because it's known for traveling and like you said, educating people. That's anyways. Not too much on that. What has it taken for you to be about your art as in a business sense? You know how they say people are about their business? Mm-hmm. Well, we have somebody who's about their art because their art is their business.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is that I've always been about business. Mm-hmm. My father, that's how he raised us. Matter of fact, we had, I've retired once before, mm-hmm. but we had a very successful business that we ran in Chicago for a number of years. But I've always had, photography has always been in the background, so I kind of got away from it for a little while. Other things a little bit more important, but I got back to traveling pretty heavily, and I just told myself I was just going to buy a camera just to see if my love was there.
Yeah.
Instantly, the first picture I took, I was right back at it. So, but so photography for me is about capturing a moment that you'll never see again.
Yes.
Every second is a new moment, right?
That's so true.
And that's basically how I just who I am as a person. But photography helps with that because it slows me down.
Yeah.
It makes
you live in the moment.
Yeah, I want to figure some things out where I need to be, so it just kind of slows me down. So even though I shoot digital, I shoot still similarly when I was doing film, because you only have a certain amount of shots per roll, and that's how I take my day. I don't, I used to take thousands of photos when I go. Now I may come back in a week's time with 90, but out of those 90,
it's gonna be a few good ones.
That's what so I don't shoot a lot anymore too much.
I bet that saves a lot of time too, and it's more effective time management, so that you can do more things with your business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
The great thing about it is my wife takes care of all of the business side of the business.
That's beautiful.
I'm free to be an artist.
Come on, partnership. Come on, marriage.
So I always got time to kind of think about what I want to do next. That's just how my mind works. Every few weeks, I'll have like a span of, I'm going to sleep for like 36 hours.
Wow.
Or something like that. My mind is just running. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do next, this and the other. But
that's energy. That's pure, natural, raw energy.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So how many years have you been showing at art shows?
I want to say this is my 19th year.
19 years. Wow. So 20 is coming up. Do you have anything big planned for your 20?
No.
For your business? Not yet.
Not really. I probably won't. It's just, I'll do.
Just being real.
Not just being real. I don't. But the only thing I'm When I turn 60, that's when I'll do something special for that.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
photography.
No.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, y'all, this has been another episode of About Your Art. Thank you, James.
Thank you.
And so yeah, we're just gonna. Do you mind if I do a quick little scope of your booth? So, do you always do Cuban? You said you travel all over. So right now, this is pictures from Cuba.
That one's Italy. The one on the outside, the guy smoking is India.
All right. Okay, so you said so this down here is Paris. And that is Italy. And so we have a lot of Cuba. Come on, Cuban cigars. And of course, you all know that this is not giving the art any real justice. If you are blessed to see James at one of these art shows in person, you should definitely make sure you come by and check it out in person. Like I said, we're doing the About Your Art podcast. Where are we? Sarasota. We're in Sarasota, Florida at Lakewood Ranch. This show is put on by Pagoda.
It's put on by Paragon.
Paragon. Wrong P. Okay. Sorry. Charge it to my head, not my heart. Okay, so Pagoda Art Festival, they're awesome. And they have brought all of these amazing artists here today. And here I am with one, Miss Stephanee. Stephanee, what's your last name? Does it matter? Ann? Okay.
Well, I go by Stephanee Ann.
Stephanee Ann.
That's my artist name.
That's beautiful. So please introduce yourself to the audience, where you're from and all that good stuff.
So my name's Stephanee Ann. I'm an oil painter. I'm from Chicago. I reside in Florida now. I do art shows all over Southwest Florida mainly, and then I do shows throughout the Midwest.
Hey, Stephanee, what inspired you to become an artist, and how did your journey begin?
So I was asked this question so many times. What inspired me? It's something I feel I need to do. Always drawn to color. Anything glittery, anything colorful, anything I could decorate, I'm in.
Yes, I love that. That is a great answer. So how long have you been doing art, selling art professionally and doing it professionally?
So my first painting, I was 6 years old.
It's flopping. Let's hold it.
My first painting.
I'm nervous that it's gonna be a bad feedback.
My first painting, I was 6 years old, and I was very hard on myself. I remember I was so mad at myself because I didn't do it this way.
Virgo energy all day. That's why y'all are so great at what you do, because you're hard on yourself. That's good.
Yeah. So my mom had it framed, and I was pissed. Mom, you can't frame that. It's not good. I'm 6, But anyway, so that taught me. That was my first lesson on my first painting, and so from there, I just wanted to be perfect, to get better and better. And so now it is 2025 right now. I've been painting consistently for 4 years.
Wow.
Well, consistently for maybe 6 years. 4 years I've been doing it professionally.
In the art circuit, in the art show circuit.
Yeah. I had a friend, a really close friend. She asked me one day. She said, "Steph, if money wasn't an option, what would you do with your life? Career-wise."
That's a good friend.
Career-wise.
Yeah.
If money wasn't an option, what would you do? What would you be? I said, an artist. Duh. And then, unfortunately, she passed away. And so that stuck with me. I have to do this.
Yes.
I have to do this.
That was the reason why she was in your life.
Yeah.
I think so. One of many, I'm sure, but for sure that one.
So here I am doing it.
What advice would you give to artists who want to start showcasing their work at art shows like this?
So the advice I would give to any artist who wants to showcase their work, before that even happens, the artist should, by all means, 100%, put their soul into their art. Don't paint what people tell you to paint.
Don't be painting Florida.
Don't be painting stuff that you think. Don't paint things that you think people will like. Paint what you love to paint.
Yes.
And that is my advice, period.
Yes.
And
I love that.
yeah, that's my advice.
I love that. So y'all, be selfish. I know it doesn't sound right, but be about yourself and what feeds yourself, because that's all you can do in life. Because yeah, somebody's gonna do something for somebody else, but you got to do it for you.
And then after that, I mean, that's when you apply to shows, and that's get a credit card, like 10 grand at least on it,
Yes.
because you're gonna do shows to find your people,
Yes.
to see where your people are that like your work and where they live and who they are and how the public interacts with your work.
Yes. Love that. Community.
Yeah.
Yes. That's perfect.
So yeah, I lost a lot of money the first 2 years trying to figure that out. And now it's paying off. So it's worth it.
Yeah, you just got to keep going. You can't. It's like the stocks. Like if you sell your stock while it's low, then you've lost the money that you invested. If if it went down, but if you just hold on to it and keep going longer until it comes back up, then boom, you're good. Invest in yourself. Come on, full circle.
That's it.
That's a full circle moment. Okay, so just a couple more questions, and then I'm gonna let you go. What's a valuable lesson you've learned about balancing creativity with running a business?
There's one thing I learned from balancing creativity, because it's separate. It's two separate things.
Yeah.
You have to spend time, organization, make lists, make a schedule.
Okay.
Monday, this time to this time, I'm going to send out emails. I'm going to create what I need to create to send out emails. I do it that way.
Yeah.
You know, and then I take inventory, figure out what I need to paint or what I make prints. You know, schedule.
Yes.
Say scheduling.
It's adhere to a schedule.
And lists.
Okay. Lists and schedules. Awesome. So last but not least, what advice would you give your future self?
Don't forget where you came from.
That's right. So remember that North Star and how far you've come, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Think of all of the crap you've been through to get to where you are and be proud of yourself.
That's right. Okay, so 2030, Stephanee, you're going to look back on this and you're going to take heed.
I'm going to be like, look how skinny I was.
Literally, I look back on my pictures for 2020 and I'm like, who is that girl and where has she gone? Please come back.
I actually can't wait to actually see this in 2030.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. Cool. I bet it's going to have 1 million views.
I'm going places.
You are. We're both going. Period. We're going together. Thank you, Stephanee.
That was cute.
Yes. Okay. Oh, last but not least, where can people find you? Tell the people where to find you.
You can find me at, it's a long one, StephaneeAnnArt.com.
Yes.
That's Stephanee.
I'm going to type it in the bottom. I'm probably going to type it in a caption on the thing. Yeah.
Put the link in the bottom.
Yep. Yes. Perfect. Thank you again, Stephanee.
You're welcome.
You are amazing. Oh, this is so exciting.
Thank you, Sneezy.
I'm sneezy. Yes, I'm sneezy. I've been sneezing all show. That's awesome. Cool. I'm gonna just do a quick little.
Yeah, go ahead.
Boom, boom.
So I'm bringing that to the car right now.
Yes. This. Yes.